first filter we're going to go over in today's snipe filter video is the dark matter cheapest filter, man. What you want to do is set your color to dark matter. You're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest dark matters on your console, which on Xbox they go for about 5,500 that you can sell them for, man. I strongly suggest you scroll on the cheapest card up just like this, man, so you have the best chance to see Invincible and Endgames, man. Because the price is so high, man, I actually recommend this filter over working Invincible cheapest or Endgame cheapest, because you will find a lot of the Endgames and Invincibles you want to snipe on the cheapest filter, on the dark matter cheapest filter, because you can see every single dark matter, man. Scroll here, pick up an Endgame, pick up any Invincible if they pop up, man, and then just any cheap dark matters, buy them for about 1,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one you are scrolling on, man. Spend some time on this filter, it has been great. Before we get into the rest of the snipe filters, for the most reliable and cheapest 2k23 MT, hit up my sponsor at NBA2king.com and use code GRINDS for 5% off. The next filter we're going to go over is the center dark matter filter. I haven't been over this in a while, but it is still a good budget option, man. Set your position to center, put your color to dark matter, and you're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest centers on your console, man. They're going for about 7,000 MT on Xbox. Again, you want to scroll with the cheapest one up, man. These centers will pop up a grip ton for around 5,000, 5,500, whatever the cheapest dark matter price is, and then you resell them for profit. And then obviously you can snipe some other more expensive centers on here as well. So spend some time on this, grab any center that pops up for about, again, like 1,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one you're scrolling on, so about 5,800 and below. Go ahead and buy them and resell for profit. The next filter we're going to go over is the Invincible cheapest filter, man. What you want to do is set your theme to Invincible. You're going to raise your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest Invincibles on your console. They're going for about 9,500 MT right now, man. It's crazy that Derrick Rose is the cheapest Invincible up. He's usually a little bit more expensive. He usually goes for like 11, 12,000, but that's okay, man. You want to go ahead and scroll, man, on the cheapest one. If you see a Shaq, a Kobe, anybody that is more expensive, you know is more expensive, go ahead and pick them up. Lamar Odom, man, it's a lot of more expensive Invincibles that will pop up on here frequently. So just keep refreshing. Grab any of the cheaper Invincibles for about 7,000 MT and below, about 2,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one, and resell for profit, man. Make sure you check the price of any card that you snipe, because the prices do vary. The next filter we're going to go over is the Endgame cheapest filter, man. Set your theme to Endgame. You're going to raise your maximum bout up again until you find the cheapest Endgame on your console, just going for about 9,500 MT on Xbox, man. You want to, again, at this point of the year, just scroll with the cheapest one up. Usually sometimes the price is changing too much earlier in the year, but the market is so dry, nobody's playing this game. So just refresh with the cheapest Endgame. You will not have to change the price that frequently at this point. So you want to snipe any expensive Endgame, man. Hakeem, any center Endgame you can snipe on here. So many different Endgames that are still more expensive. KD, LeBron, any of those more expensive Endgames pop up, buy them for any price point. If it's a JR, a D Wade, man, anybody that is cheaper, you are just the cheapest price. You want to go ahead and grab them for about 7,000 MT and below, maybe 7,500. You can do about 2,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one that you're scrolling on, and resell for profit. Again, make sure you check the price. The next filter we're going to go over is the center Endgame cheapest filter, man. What you want to do is set your position to center, put your theme to Endgame. You're going to scroll your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest Endgames on your console, which are going for about 19.9k. Looks like you could sell them for. These ones are a grip ton up for 19.95. If you want, you can scroll on the cheapest one by just bringing your MT50 lower, so you're on a no scroll, because that scroll was way too long. Snipe anybody that's more expensive, man. Yao, Taco, any of them pop up on here. Obviously Bonham, Shaq, man, there's a lot of more expensive cards you can snipe. Probably what you can do is just go ahead and bring your maximum bout down to 15,000, 15,500, man. Just keep refreshing your snipe absolutely anybody that pops up, and then check the price and sell them for whatever they're going for, depending on who you snipe, man. The next filter we're going to go over is the Endgame Pacific filter, man. Set your theme to Endgame, put your division to Pacific, and again, you're going to scroll your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest Endgames on this filter, which will be Kobe, Magic, or Wilt. They're all very similar price, man. What I suggest is you just bring your maximum bout down to about 30,000, man. Lower it about 6,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one, man. You can do like 31k. Just make sure you do it 6,000 MT, lower than whatever the cheapest price is on your console. I typically just do 30k on this filter and snipe anything that pops up, because the price does vary a grip ton. Sometimes Kobe's 33k, sometimes he's 39k. So I just do 30, man. Snipe anything that pops up, and it's definitely profit, man. And if it's lower. If you post it up for 35K, man, it will eventually sell. Great filter, made a lot of MT on it, man. You guys will see the video at the end if you guys want to check it out, where we spent an hour on this filter. The next filter we're going to go over is the small forward endgame filter, man. Set your position to small forward, put your theme to endgame. You're going to scroll your maximum bout up until you find the cheapest Scottie Pippen on your console. It goes for anywhere from like 12 to 12,500 MT, man. This one's been up for a while, but the next cheapest one isn't until like 13,000, I guess. So what you want to do is scroll with the cheapest one up, man. Grab Scottie if he pops up for 10,000 MT and below. And then if anybody else pops up, you might want to grab Tim Duncan for 10,000 MT and below. Grab Scottie and Tim Duncan for 10,000 MT and below. And if anybody else pops up, man, they are profit. Go ahead and buy them on the scroll you are working and resell for profit. There's a lot of more expensive cards on this filter that you can see, so make sure you check your price. The next filter we're going to go over is the Victor Wembanyama cheapest filter, man. This filter is really good, especially since next Wemby is way up in price, man. What you want to do is set your name to Victor Wembanyama, set your color to dark matter, and you're going to scroll your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest next Wemby on your console, which on Xbox he's way up to 64,000 MT. He was just going for 40 not too long ago, a week and a half ago. So he will pop up sometimes, man, for like 40K or right around there, 50K and below. What I would do is scroll on the cheapest next Wemby, just like this, man. Obviously, if the Invincible or the endgame pops up for any price on the scroll you're working, buy it as quick as possible, because those are still bid cards, man. And then if Victor Wembanyama next card pops up for like 52K and below, 52,000 and below, go ahead and pick it up, man, and then resell for profit, man. It's a really good filter. I've had some luck on it lately. The next filter we're gonna go over is probably my favorite filter in the game personally, man. What you want to do is set your theme to endgame, put your division to northwest. You're going to scroll your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest J.R. Smith, man. He goes for like 8K, 9K, man. You want to grab him, buy the cheapest J.R. Smith on the auction house, man, and then send it to your collection. This is an enabled filter. You do need to enable J.R. Smith, who's very cheap, man. 9,300, 9,000 you can get one for. Buy it, send it to your collection, man. If you have Kevin Garnett, Kevin Durant, or Nikola Jokic in your collection, anytime you use this filter, you do need to send them to your auction, so that way they'll still pop up. So once you buy and send J.R. Smith to your collection, you're going to go ahead and set your theme back to endgame, your division to northwest, and you're going to turn on exclude user owned cards to enabled, and scroll your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Kevin Garnett's on your console, man. What you want to do is definitely scroll on the cheapest Kevin Garnett. Grab him for about 7,000 MT and below, the cheapest one that you're scrolling on for Kevin Garnett, and then resell for profit. If Kevin Durant or Nikola Jokic pop up for any price point on the scroll you are working, man, pick them up as quick as possible, because they are more expensive, man. I've made a grip ton of MT on this filter, and it's very cheap to enable, so give it a try, man. The next filter we're going to go over is the endgame Southwest filter with your minimum bid at 100K. On this filter, you can snipe Yao Ming and Wembamba endgame. They pop up, if I can even speak. What you want to do is set your theme to endgame, set your division to Southwest. You're going to raise your minimum bid up to 100,000 MT on your console, and put your minimum buyout to 500. This is not enabled filter. You're just going to refresh here, scroll through the few cards that should be up on your console, man. If Yao Ming pops up, if Victor Wemby pops up, man, buy them as quick as possible, because they are still bid cards, man. This is a great option for a filter, just along with the center and power forward ones, where you keep the bid the same and you just put your division position to center, keep the bid at 100K. Power forward, you can switch through all of these, man. Really good filter, man. Spend some time on it. Hopefully you get lucky. The game is drying the heck out, man. We got 2k24 coming out in just a few days, man, so get your snipes now while you can, because there's no auction house next year. And the last filter we're going over today is the Dark Matter 500 max bid filter. For this filter, it's kind of like the Dark Matter enabled all filter, except for you don't need to buy the cards. What you need to do is just set your color to Dark Matter. You're going to put your maximum bid to 500. And right now on Xbox, the minimum buy it now price is very low. What you're going to do, typically on PlayStation, you'll probably need to raise this all the way up to 100,000, your minimum buyout. But right now on Xbox, there's no cards there, so you can bring it all the way down to about 70,000 MT, so you get the cheapest card up, just like this. 75 is the cheapest, and just keep refreshing here, man. Any endgame that pops up for over 75,000 buyout price, but it has to have a starting bid of 500 can pop up on here, including Invincible Wemby, Invincible Minute Bowl can pop up on this filter. Spend some time on it, man. I have gotten a lot of snipes on this filter. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you did, man. If you guys want to see the video we dropped last week, spending an hour on the Endgame Pacific filter, man, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.